So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Steph Willding, and I am the CEO at Community Health. At first when I was thinking of saying, it's so wonderful to see all of you, I didn't realize how many of you I do see on site very often. And now I'm seeing you without your masks on, and that makes me so very happy. Not only the volunteers, but a number of our staff, including a few of our newer staff whose faces I have never actually seen. So it truly, truly, truly is wonderful to see you, to see your faces. We're celebrating tonight virtually, in part because it's the safe thing to do, but also in part because of something that I think is an exceptional theme this year, which Ava touched on, is that there are folks joining this celebration this evening from all across the country. And I think that even, certainly 2 years ago, and even to a certain degree a year ago, I'm not sure we could have ever have dreamed that we would have this kind of representation that is fueling our mission every single day and providing care to thousands of folks who need it most. I know I've said this before, and since Ava listened to what I said last year, I'm sure I'm repeating some of this, but volunteerism is, at the core work that we do at Community Health. But sometimes when I say at the core of what we do, it doesn't quite capture that, right? Because that's talking about our model of care and how we do it all. But volunteerism and each and every single one of you are the beating heart of this organization. I can think of dozens and dozens of occasions this year where your service, your work fueled and inspired all of us to keep going. And your exceptional service, I can personally tell you, absolutely fueled and inspired me to do the work that we do. And I think one of the ways I wanted to highlight that is actually around the ways in which you all worked very hard to bring hope to our communities through a vaccine. I know maybe not everyone on the call today had a direct impact, but for those of you, for example, who were helping us keep things going in the clinic so we could deploy other volunteers to do vaccination, that's how you contributed to bringing hope to our communities. The community health services, you all know just as well as I do, we're disproportionately impacted by COVID. And without a vaccine, they continue to ravage our communities. And by standing on the front lines in February at the start of vaccine rollout, you all made sure that we could bring hope to our communities, that we could keep them safe when they were at work, that we could keep them safe when they were in their homes. And you did that by making phone calls, making a lot of phone calls. Who would have known that vaccine distribution would have been making so many phone calls? You interpreted on site at our vaccine clinics. A lot of you jabbed, which I know some of you really enjoy doing the jabs. You registered patients at the front of vaccine events. There are a couple of you who scoured eye care to make sure that our patients' records were updated so that we knew if our patients were vaccinated. There was a lot of work that went into it that you don't capture in the pretty photos where we're smiling and jabbing, right? It was intensive work. And that intensive work meant that and Emily, I know I'm probably getting the stat wrong, but over 70% of our patients are fully vaccinated. I'm right? Okay, great. Fully vaccinated, 70%. We have been outpacing the city as a whole, and we certainly have been outpacing the city for example, the Latinx population and those vaccination rates. And that's because of each of you who contributed, whether you were there at the clinics, whether you were making phone calls from home, whether you were making sure that in the evenings you were caring for our patients so we could deploy volunteers in other ways. You all gave the gift of hope to our patients this year. And it's going to be a moment that we all remember for the rest of our lives, and that I certainly will never forget, which means I will never forget each and every one of you for bringing that to our patients. Dang, it is so easy to get emotional at these things. I just wanted to say thank you. I know that when you come and give time to community health, that's time away from your family, that's time away from your friends, that's time you're not reading, relaxing, doing self-care. When you choose community health, I know that means you're giving up something else. And I, in case we don't say it enough, I just want to tell you how grateful I am that you do that you make that sacrifice for our mission. And I say sacrifice, but I know many of you don't see it that way, which makes it even more special. So thank you for all that you do. Thank you for another exceptional year that has allowed us to give hope to our communities, while we also continue to innovate and grow from everything we've learned during the pandemic. And I also just wanted to take a quick moment, because the deployment of all of you each and every day doesn't just happen on its own. So I, of course, wanted to shout out our amazing volunteer services and training programs department. They're a whole department now, which is amazing. I want to thank Kate, who has been, first started out as a Vista and has been the most amazing Vista in the history of Vistas, and I'll stand by that any day. I want to say thank you to Milan, who's our newest team member, who has been hitting the ground running, sprinting, making things happen. And then, of course, to our incredible leader of the department, Ava, who finds new ways to step up and step in every single day to make our mission possible, to support you all, and to continue to think through how we can do more and do better for our patients and our communities. And so, I know, Ava, you love to shower all the love and gratitude to the volunteers, and we certainly will. But I did just want to take a moment and thank you for all that you do, because we all know this doesn't just happen by accident. It happens with purpose, with intent, with strategy, with a lot of heart and love as well. So thank you, you all. I am so excited to sit back and hear about all of the incredible stories from this past year, some of which I know, some of which I'm going to learn tonight. And again, thank you for all that you do. I am so grateful. And as I said, for the rest of my life, I will remember all of you and what we were able to accomplish this year to bring hope to our patients and our community.